Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a program to compare tunes for similarity. We've come a fair ways. We've got the Parsons code working, which is sort of the shape of the melody. And then we're working on quantizing the rhythms. So you can take two tunes that have maybe different variations, but if their essential rhythms are the same, then they'll look more similar. And we're trying to make sure we cover the situations for making those the same size. And the one we haven't tested yet is syncopation. So syncopation is where you have a rhythm that rather than a steady beat, there's some delays in it. And we'll cover those cases. All right, so I think, pretty sure we left off with all tests running. Okay, good. So some notes we gave ourselves: quantization, where notes go past the pulse. Okay, that's syncopation in action. Make sure we handle rests and deal with partial measures. Okay, so past the pulse. Let's set up some tests. And my expectation on these tests, I mean, I think what we've done is correct. Okay. That it will do the right behavior for syncopated beats anyway. I do think there's some improvements we can make, but yeah, I think we're okay. All right. So let's see. So we're quantize syncopated rhythm. Okay, and we can't really do the quarter note name thing, so quarter note names. That is symbols. Okay, let's go check that thing out. Okay, it maps them all to the corresponding symbol of the note. Okay. Well, for us, this measure rhythm. Oh, I think the notes default to quarter notes. Yeah, we're taking whatever the default is. Notes. Yeah, they take quarter notes. Okay. So I think what we want to do is pass in our own notes. So this, I think, let's duplicate this and make a little bit of a change in the helpers. So this one, well, I think what we want to do is check quantization of measure rhythm. Let's see, the quarter note names I want to, that's the piece I want to generalize. Quantize to expected note names. Yeah, those come out regular, so I'm okay there. This one is quantized to, and this one is expected. So, let's say quarter note quantization. Well, actually, let's leave it there for now. Okay. For notes. Okay. And then in here, where we take this, measure symbols of quarter note names. That's what we want to pass. And the type of that is array of symbol. Okay, so that's what we should take here. Input symbols, array of symbol, and in the measure we'll do input symbols. Okay. Right, that should be input symbols. There. Okay, that should still all pass. Well, let's call this for symbols. Actually, I think check quantization is probably still okay. It is a different case. Okay. So anyway, now I have this check quantization. I can use that. All right. So let's build up our input symbols. Let's just start with this. Make sure we're on track. Okay, let's see. I gave myself some test cases here in my notes. Okay, the first one, well, let's just get some notes. Let's take note A. And the rhythm is rhythm 7/8. One-eighth. Okay. And let's take a measure of 4/4 and to do that, rhythm 1/4. So we want the quarter note beats. Well, this is 8/8 total, so every two should be a beat. So it should be A. Because that last eighth note is too short to be there. So on the first beat, it's, well, beat 1, beat 3, beat 5, beat 7, they're all still an A. Beat 8 is not, but we're not going to use that at this ratio. Okay, so if we take our notes and map them to symbol.note $0. Okay, so that should be input symbols. All right, now my hope is this passes. I think I'm confirming stuff that should already work. Okay, good. Let's see, another one I had, more complicated ones. Let's flip this one. Let's do 1/8 and then 7/8. Okay, and now it should be A, B, B, B. Okay. Well, let's call this short, long, and this one can be long, short. Okay. And expectation is correct. Okay, I think this one should pass. Okay, because we demonstrated that it's kind of like whatever note is going at that moment, that's the one we're taking, so that's good. All right, so check that syncopated notes work. Let's make sure all tests run and check this in. Okay, check syncopated rhythms. Quantization of syncopated rhythms. All right. Oh, I already did this check-in, I guess. Okay, thought I changed something. All right. To do quantization going past the pulse. Yes, I think we've done that. Quantization with rests. I think this should be straightforward too. I believe the rests should just become rests. So we got a note, quantize with rests. Okay, so I'm gonna dot note of this, dot note of this. Okay, yeah, I guess this was the case I had. So make this a quarter note. The type of this is array of symbol. We already mapped. Okay, so a quarter note. A rest. Let's make this 3/8. Then a note for 3/8. Okay, so a quarter note is 2/8. 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 3/8 is 8/8. So that is a 1 if you work it into normal math, and 4 divided by 4 is 1, so it's the right length of measure. All right, but it's got this rest in the middle. Now this one, the first quarter note, we're doing this at a quarter note scale. So the first quarter note gets an A. The second one gets a rest. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out something here. But it should be A rest. And then the third beat, okay, so beat 1, let's make beats in eighths. So beat 1 is the first quarter note, 1 and 2. The rest covers 3 quarter notes, 3, 4, 5. And then the last note covers 6, 7, 8. So we're going to look at 1 is the first one is A. 3 is the second one is a rest. 5, it's 3 beats, so it's 3, 4, 5 is another rest. And then the last 6, 7, 8 is that last note. Well, 7 is the one we're looking for. 1, 3, 5, 7. And 7 is going to give us a B. Okay. Now these expected note names, I don't know how hard I want to work. Expected note name is string, so these are characters. Okay, so let's well, if $0 equals R, I don't know, I hate doing any thinking, but we're going to return symbol.rest of pulse. Well, let's return $0 equals R goes to, I don't know, I've been trying to format this like this lately. Okay, it's symbol.rest or symbol.note and close the map. Okay. And they don't agree with me on indentation on this. I don't know if I'm fighting a losing battle. If it's an R, turn it into a rest, otherwise turn it into a note. And we'll check it that way. Okay, so I would say this should work at this point. I didn't really look closely to see that we handle rests and notes the same way, but I think we do. All right, good. Okay, so now, well, handle quantization with, what did I put with that? Well, I'll put that down here. Whoops. We need to do one of these. 10, 22, 33. Handle with rests. Okay. Now, quantization with partial measures. I think we also want to worry about with two large measures. Now, this one is sort of a weird case. It's in our measure, we're saying this is a 4-4 measure, meaning all these beats should add up to 1 in total. A quarter plus 3/8 plus 3/8 is 1, and an eighth plus 7/8 is 1, and so on. That we've made them all the right length. Okay, there's nothing that stops you from writing a measure with more notes than you promised would be there. You could argue it's an error. I think the notation is so odd that it's certainly possible somebody is doing this. The sort of approach of ABC, the parsing input notation, is kind of like be as forgiving as you can, and I think this is going to be a case of that. It's a little weird. More beats than expected in measure. Okay. And I almost don't care what it does. Okay, so let's take one of our straightforward ones. We had a quantized to half known. Well, let's take something like this one. Okay, so if I'm in 4/4 rhythm, I've got A, B, C, D, E, all quarter notes. I quantize to a quarter note level. I kind of expect, I'm expecting one of two answers. I would be happy enough with A, B, C, D. I kind of suspect it's going to give us A, B, C, D, E. And really, I will accept either answer. So I don't know what you call this. It's not testing. It's sort of a side effect of it. In a way, I don't feel like all I owe is don't crash and don't get into an infinite loop. But let's see what it does. Okay. It may, whoops. It may do what I wrote here. It may do it with an E on the end. Okay. Well, I'm good with that. All right. We're saying quantize to quarter notes, and we only should deliver 4 theoretically for 4/4, and that's what we're doing. I'm okay. Good. I might have talked myself into this answer even regardless, but let's make sure this is formatted. Okay. Yeah, so that one is okay. Maybe I can put that name. Let's say measure with extra beats just returns according, well, maybe just returns beats according to time signature. Okay, so if it's 4/4, we return 4 at 1/4. Okay, the next one, partial measures we haven't talked about, and I haven't really addressed them. I don't know. Okay, let's do it then. Probably easier to think about it if I write it down. Okay. It's a little weird. Okay. Partial measure. I don't know what we're going to say that does. This case, there's really two cases that happen. And again, this could happen anywhere because people do weird things sometimes, but the two places it really happens, one is the beginning of a song. They call it a pickup measure. So I don't know why I'm thinking about Christmas carols because it's really only November, but an example of this is the song I Saw Three Ships Come Sailing In. So it's I saw three ships come sailing in. Da, 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 da. And that little first beat, I saw, the heavy emphasis is on the word saw, I saw, but that I is just a little one beat thing that's kind of a lead in, and it's or a pickup. It's called a pickup measure. Okay, now what happens that's on the front. Well, if you want to make things add up mathematically, or you want to do repeats or something, then you probably want to make sure that the last measure doesn't have a full set of beats. So that song is in 3/4, let's say, and we use a one beat pickup. Then the last note of the song or the last measure of the song is only going to have 2 beats. Okay, usually it's called an ending. I don't know if there's a more official name for that, but that it sort of makes it all round out. That you have you sort of stealing a note from the ending to put it at the beginning is the way I look at it. And so this can happen kind of at a phrase level or I use the word section, and again, I don't know if that's kind of a standard name, but if I have a part that goes on and then it repeats, okay, odds are when it goes back to repeat, it's going to have that pickup note and then just go back to the first whole measure, the first complete measure, and then it may end with a partial measure at the end. We haven't done anything to notice that. Okay, and we allow it because I don't check how many beats you put in, but I think we want to deal with it. Now the question to me is, if I only have ABC and I quantize to a rhythm 1/4, I kind of think I should get ABC. All right, but the tricky thing is I don't know if ABC is the first beat or the last beat. So I don't know. I may be doing this a little wrong. The other answer I expect out of this is like ABCC, that we sort of pretend the last note is going, or ABC rest, and we don't introduce rest, so that's not, it might be reasonable, but it's not what we're doing. Okay, so let's just see what this thing does. I don't want it to go into an infinite loop. I don't want it to crash. Okay. Let's see. Down here. ABCC is not equal to ABC. I don't know how to regard that. Yeah, it's kind of a tricky thing. Let me try and explain it here. Okay, so if your pickup note, let's say it's a quarter note, and then you got four quarter notes on, and then at the very end you're gonna have three. Okay, now this these two situations really should be interpreted differently. Okay, let's change it. Let's make it a quarter and an eighth. Okay, or maybe even 3/8. Okay, so if it's 3/8, that's 1.5. So we need 2.5 beats here. QQE. Okay, so this is four quarter notes: 1, 2, 1/2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Okay. Now, if you ask me where the notes are here by a quarter note pulse, it should be this middle E. Okay. Now, that's because that's one beat away from the end of the measure. This should be this note, this note, this note, because they're from the start of the measure. Okay, so you can't just say a partial one is either at the start or the end. It could be either one. And nothing inherently to these three notes is going to tell you that. I think by the time we care about partial measures, I think they should be marked or something. I mean, this is a pickup measure. It probably should say that. Now, I don't know. That's going to take some more work to really do it that way. I think what we're doing here on this one, the way we're doing it, we're just pretending whatever is there starts the measure and sounds throughout, and the sound keeps going. I don't know. Given what we have at this point, I don't think it's unreasonable that we're just saying, like, well, as far as I can tell, that last note keeps stretching out. That is kind of the way it works. Quantized partial measure, let's say, stretches to full measure. Okay. And I don't think it's super wrong, put it that way. We'll see. I'm working with somebody who is writing up these songs and all that, so I can go by more than just my opinion. If I make them happy, then it's probably a good thing. Okay, but like I said, this is 39 versions of Deck the Halls, and I don't see any pickup notes, so this song maybe is not going to have that problem. There may be a version with a pickup note. No. Yeah, there could be. Well, this one's funny. 4 rests and then this. Okay, so you might think it was a pickup note. Well, I guess it really is, right? Here's 4/16 is 1 quarter, 4/16 is 2 quarters, so this measures partial. It's only half a beat. And then look at the end. A2 to 4, that's a full. Hard to know. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 beats. Oh, it's in 2/4 time. Oh, so that's not a partial. That's 2 quarter notes. This looks 3/16, 1/32, another 30 seconds. So that's 4/16, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a half. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if I have any in here. I don't think it's a barrier. I mean, I think the answer we're giving it is probably okay for now. We might, in the long run, want to know whether we should take the front or the back half of a measure. Hey, nice. Never going to give you up. Nice to see you again. Okay, so let's see. So anyway, I think we'll accept this, and then I'll call it pickup measure just because that is a phrase that we use, and I think that'll make it. If we change our mind, it'll give us a clue about where to go fix it. Okay, and this is, let's see, we handle rests and, oh no, we handle measures with too many or too few notes. Okay, that I think covers the cases I know about. All right. And I think that makes this a good time to deal with this. I also want to look at quantizer. This pulses, I don't know if it's too clever. Okay, because it's doing this lazy thing. It says, just give me an infinite list starting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep counting that out. Lazy says, don't really try and list out every single number. Just do them as they're demanded. And then I'm taking each rhythm times, each number times the rhythm. So I get as many pulses as this says. And then I only take enough of them to make up for the time signature. So the prefix is what prevents you from listing out every number. Okay. So if I'm doing quarter notes, that gives me in 4/4, that gives me quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. Okay. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Okay. I probably could do this with a for loop. And I don't know that it would be any harder to understand. I could also probably do it in this loop. I mean, do we have I don't know, does Swift have a normal for loop? I mean, it must. Oops. For in, that's not really what I'm after. For where, interesting, okay. I didn't know about that one. You can put filters on. I just wanted the old for I equals 1 to do this, do that. No, apparently not. Okay. All right. Let me try and rewrite this as a while loop. Okay, so pulses var pulses of array of rhythm start out empty, and then we're going to say well, let pulse equal, do I use the word pulse? No. Okay. Pulse equal rhythm 0, 1. Okay, so that's 0 beats. And I'm going to say while pulse is less than time signature. Append that pulse. Add what am I adding? Self.pulse. Okay, I do have pulse up here. Okay, let's use another. I'm just going to use the word temp for now. Temp plus pulse. Okay. That's not so bad. Okay, so we start with 0, 1. In other words, 0. While we aren't equal to the time signature, append the pulse we have, and then calculate the next one by adding it in. All right, this should work across everything. Okay, yeah, I think that's just less clever. Clever's not a good term to me usually. All right. Yeah, I think that's okay. All right. I mean, we're doing a little work there. Let's extract that piece. File private function. What are we getting? We're getting the pulses. Identify pulses for time signature. Which is a rhythm. We're producing an array of rhythm. Oh, maybe I can extract this and see how that goes. No. Okay, let's copy. Go to the manual extract. I'm going to call this beat so far. Okay, identify pulses. So let's say this is identify pulses for time signature. Okay. That should still be good. Whoops. Yes, that's fine. Okay. This method's a touch long, but I don't think it's that far off. I mean, we had to initialize the stuff we're tracking. Then we had to update the stuff we're tracking. I guess I could put them in the same order that would help make sense of it. Yeah. Okay, that should be good. All right, should measure become a struct? This is probably true. So at one point, measure had multiple cases, and we've gotten it down to none. So that makes me think it's not an enum anymore. And I'm going to just change it to a struct and let it track these two fields. Okay. So let's just say struct. Oh, don't mind putting this up top if it's static. We're going to have a field that's let rhythm of rhythm, let symbols of symbol, init rhythm of rhythm and symbols of symbol. Okay, we don't need measure rhythm symbol anymore. Okay. The notes just return symbols now. Notes. Well, I can leave the function on there, but I think we want to inline it. This is just return symbols. So the name doesn't really work either, does it? And we can make it private get. Return symbols. Okay. Subscript return symbol is symbols.index or subindex. Okay. Rhythm is just rhythm. It's really boring. I don't even know if I can name that like that. No, I can't. Okay, let's let rhythm. Oh, I know you can say private get somehow. Is that here? Private set. Expected pattern. I think I use that somewhere. Private set var. And this is a struct, so there's really not anything to reset it, but that's okay. We'll do that. Okay, so anybody who referenced rhythm parens is going to have to change their ways. All right, so now if I build, there should be some complaints. Measure has no member measure. Right, it's just a constructor now. Cannot call value. Right, it's just an accessor. Measure.rhythm. Okay. Measure. Well, this could use some work too. Okay, let's build again. Now, this won't catch tests that have issues. This build will. The test run build. Yeah. Okay. Measure. I mean, it's definitely simplifying things. Well, I think I got those. Okay. Make measure a struct instead of an enum. And there's still some work we can do to simplify measure. Okay, I think this, let's find the usages and let's just make them ask for dot symbols. Find selected symbol. Seems fair. I think this will fit on one line now. Okay. Okay, so now nobody should be using this. And I don't think I'm okay with these few places doing measure dot symbols. There's sometimes is an advantage to making the arrays get wrapped, and I think I like this okay. Okay, so now this I don't think is being referenced. Oh, only here. Okay, so we've got a much simpler thing. This is really more of a little data structure. Whether I should provide that subscript, you know, I think I'm gonna take that back. Well, let me see what we have. Make sure I haven't done two things here. Okay, we got rid of notes. That's good. I'm gonna revert. Quantizer, anybody else? Let's go changes. Measure. Okay, we'll take notes out. I don't need this to be an extension because there's just not that much here. I am going to provide that indexer subscriptor. If we decided to change some representations, it would give us a little protection, and it does mean one less level of indirection or kind of chaining in there. All right, so that's measure.notes. I think that's all we ended up doing there. Yep. Okay, should make measure become a struct. All right, so I think we've done the actual quantization stuff now, but we haven't got it working in our UI, and we haven't figured out how it hooks up. All right, so let me let's see these quantizer. Where did we put that on? It was on Tune, I think. Right. Tune, when you ask for the notes, it calls this map function. Okay, and let's find who uses this. Hopefully there's a UI piece. I think there should be. Note parser parsons go to reports. Okay. Yeah, the way this is now, this thing defaults to no quantization. All right. All right. So where does this come from? Who calls code for? Well, that's here. Yeah. Okay. So report. I would say code for once the method that gets passed in here, this map function, measure to measure map. Okay. And report, who calls that? UI. Okay. So it would be nice if report took that method. Let's do that. Okay, tune, that's sort of an input. That's an input. Max code width is kind of describing the output. So let's add an argument. Let's say quantizer is, well, it's got to be measure to measure. And it's a function. Just like here. I guess maybe an extra level of parens would be warranted. Okay, well, does it like that? Maybe I don't need to. Okay, cool. Now I don't have anything coming in for quantizer, so let's go to the caller. I don't know if it'll find it now. Yeah, okay. No, it doesn't find the caller because we changed the signature. It's UI. There can't be that much there. Okay. So here's report with tunes. Interesting, it doesn't even do output width. Okay. All right. Let's see this. Huh. Oh, this is one tune. Okay. I guess I'm going to have to pass it in here as well, because it can't call report without it. Okay, so let's add this argument here. Okay, and then report should take the quantizer. Okay. Code for tune, well, it's tune.notes, so we're going to pass that on down. Tune.notes, code for, let's find usages. Only called here. Good. Okay, let's add this in here. Okay, so I'm saying code for a tune given a quantizer, and the whole thing produces a string. Okay, and we're going to pass the quantizer in. I guess that should be like this. Okay, now this needs the quantizer. This sorting is a little weird. Okay, but that's all okay. And then content view. Let's let quantizer equal. Well, it's a function from measure to measure, so let's just default it to do nothing. Okay, so this should put everything. Oh, yeah, a test that needs to test it. Okay. Yeah, let's pass in an empty function, a identity function. Unable to infer. Oh, interesting. Converting non-escaping value to measure may allow it to escape. Let's try that again. Cannot find measure. Oh, I guess I have to say it in the name of the. Okay, so add quantizer to report. Not really used by UI yet. Okay. Now, Let's run this thing. I'll go get our input file. Down the end, okay. All right, so all I can do now is generate report. And I probably should work on the way it drops stuff in. Okay, so that's what we had before. That all looks the same. All right, what I want to do is I want to add the quantization in. Let's work on our UI a little. And I'm going to close just about everything. Normally I don't try and do TDD on the UI stuff per se. I think what I want to do here, okay, I got the text editor. I want to allow for the rhythm to be put in, the quantization rhythm to be put in. And I don't know if I want to restrict it. I don't think I do at this point. So let's treat it as state. We'll put numerator and denominator, and I don't know if denominator. I don't know how text fields, if I can do something with that. All right, so before the text, after the text editor, before generate report, I want a text field. What are my options? Let's go find an example. Text field Swift UI example. I know I just yeah, text username. So I don't know if that's what that first field is. Text value name components using the format style. I'm not quite sure what that first opening text is. Label generated. Oh, okay. It's a label. All right. Oops, sorry. Let's say rhythm. Numerator. Now there are ways to put constraints on these things. Text field with a value. Kind of would rather see it up there. Okay, value binding. Okay, yeah. Var int double value that format dot number. Okay, so value and format. Value numerator format dot that's double. Let's see what these formats are. Format F, which is formable parser style. Integer format style, that's what I want. Well, how do I get it? Number. Format, maybe just dot number. Okay, if let's try it. Okay, and then I'm going to put a text field. Nothing value denominator format number. Okay, and then I'm going to put a text slash and a box h stack. Okay, let's see how that runs. Content view initializer. Oh, give these default values 1, 4. Okay. I didn't mean to do that. Oh. Let's run it. Well, okay, that's not as pretty as I'd like. Let's. It doesn't. The word rhythm isn't in there. Okay. Let's put some text. Quantize. All right. That's more tolerable. Dot center. How do we do that? Dot form. Text align. I don't know if I can get this preview working. Canvas. When this works, it's kind of the fast way to do this text-oriented stuff. But yeah, that's not centered. Ooh, text alignment, maybe. Text, okay. Well, the alignment value didn't actually center it, so I'm not sure what to interpret that. Oh, nice, nice. This is the kind of interaction I want. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm appreciating this now. So many times it seems like it's broken or too slow or something. Okay. Now, this button, well, we don't have a rhythm yet. Okay, really we want okay, I want the rhythm to be at least, well, the denominator can't be a 0, that's for sure. It's odd if it's not a power of 2, but it could be conceivably useful in some cases. If you had triplets or something, you might be able to play with it. I don't know. All right, let's make a little helper. Quantizer of numerator denominator gives me a I guess it's going to give me a measure to measure function. Okay, so let's just do the simple way first is let pulse equal rhythm numerator denominator, and then let quantizer, well, let's let result equal quantizer of pulse return result dot, and I don't remember what we called that. That's worse. Okay. Map. Okay. is its function. Okay, so now that's quantizer. Let's make this well. I gotta change this name. Actually, I think we'll take this out of there for a minute here. And let's just pass in quantizer of numerator denominator. That should give us a function back. Okay, and run. Okay, let's get our no scaling. Generate the report with quantizer 1/4. Let's make this 1/2. Okay. It's a lot smaller. The shape is different in these two. Okay. Those look similar enough. That's a little different. Okay. I would say that's working. Okay. Now, the order of these things is going to come out different because it's sorted by this, by the Parsons code. Let's change it to whole notes. So I think we'll get 1 per beat. It's 1/8, 2/4 time. I don't know, maybe it will be too small. Okay, it definitely changes. 26 was first before. Okay. Well, you can see more similarity in some of these. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. That doesn't go quite as far, but it's very close. A lot of these are more similar like this. I think this is a good little feature. All right, what I need to do though is it should only quantize if you do it. Okay, let's capture some to-dos. All right, so this is add quantization to UI. Add a flag telling whether to quantize, and add constraint. Lower number has to be greater than or equal to 1. I guess anything else would be fine. In principle, I mean, you might get something that's garbage information, but I mean, these 1/8 quarter half whole, that's sort of like the most likely. Okay. Add quantization to UI. I think we've done that. Let's capture that. Okay. And flag. I just want a little checkbox for quantize. And I think also this can be upper and lower. Well, let's check this in. Whoops, check it in. Add quantizer to UI. Now, in the long run, I want a different way of doing this, but that's okay. We can make this work for now. Again, you know, I'm trying to get these features so somebody can test them in real songs and real situations. I know we can't handle every possible input song, but the ones we handle, you know, the ones we do, we should work properly. All right, we're due for a break, so let's take about a 3 minute break, and we'll come back and clean this thing up a bit. All right, welcome back. Okay, so a flag telling whether to quantize. Again, that's a state field in here we're going to use. Okay, so let's see, at state private var should quantize a boolean, and it starts false. Okay, and down here we're going to put that in our horizontal stack, and I don't know what these are called, checkbox. Well, displays a checkbox followed by its label. Oh, toggle. Okay, I think toggle is what we really want. Is on any label. So to a Boolean property. Okay. Oh, okay. Toggle style. All right. Toggle name is on. Okay. I don't know what that name. What happens to that name? I think it's $, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Let's just see what we get. Preview paused. Well, I don't really care about the title there. I guess I can take that out here. Quantize. And starts out false. I wonder if I can. I wonder how I gray that out or deactivate that. Enabled. Forms to view. Visibility. That's somewhat like I want. Hidden. I don't really want them hidden, I don't think. I don't know if this is. Yeah, don't know if that's quite. I mean, disabled. We can try that. Let's put this bit in a stack. Some view has no member text. What is that telling me? Oh, that's kind of okay. Interactable. Okay. I'm not too put out there. Yeah. Okay. What was my thing? Flag telling whether to quantize. And then we need to take the flag into account. Okay, we have quantizer here. Let quantize map equal should quantize goes to this. And then otherwise, let's say quantizer dot none. Okay, where we need a new function for this. Okay, so public static var, well, let none is of type measure to measure. Okay, quantizer none. Measure is just an empty, well, an identity transformation. Okay, so don't do anything to them. All right, let's give this a go. Okay, and run. All right, and let's make up one. X1 title test one. Key C notes are A3B. C, D3. With no quantizing, that should be A, B, C, D. I'm already confused. Okay, it's got 4 notes. So why do I have so many RRDs? All right, let's try quantizing. That's coming out the same. If I quantize to half notes, it's shorter. Okay, half notes, then it's A, C, D. Okay, so, sorry, write this down. I always forget that A is higher than C. Okay, so the star R, that's the A is first, and then the R, second A repeats it. And then it goes down to C, and then it should be up to D. Okay. Right. So that, I think that should generate A, should be the equivalent of 3 beats of A, B to B, C, D, D, D. Okay. And when you quantize to half notes, because it defaults to quarter notes, it should be A, and then C, D. And then when you do the Parsons code, star for the first note, second note is the same, third note goes down, but I would say the fourth note should go up. And that's not what we're seeing. Okay, so let's stop in here in the report and make sure, take a look at the tune and make sure it's being correct. Report. Okay, so I think we can break here. And take that chunk out. Okay, if I quantize by 1/2, all right, let's see the tune. That may be too much. Okay. A part, measure, oh, we can make measure print better. 4/4 note A4 for 3 beats, note B for 1 beat, a new measure 4/4, C for 1 beat, D for 3 beats. Okay, that is correct. So the tune is being properly handled. Let's step over, and now let's see the notes. Can I do dot description? AACC. Okay. That's good. Oh, wait, CC, is that right? That is not right. Oh, I don't know. What did we quantize by half? I think that is, in fact, wrong. C4, beat 1 we should get beat 1 and beat 3. Beat 1 should be C. Beat 2, 3, 4 should be D, so this fourth note should be a D. And yet it's coming out as a C. I thought that was kind of exactly the case of what we did. All right, so this is tune. Tune looks right to me. Notes look wrong to me. Okay, so let's break in the quantizer. Yeah, let's stop here. It's only going to happen twice. Okay, so stop, run. Guess I should have saved this. X1, title, test, key C, A3, B, C, D3. Okay, should come up A, C, C if we quantize by half notes. Should be A, C, D. Okay, step over this. All right, okay, let's see the measure going in. I don't know if I have one of these. Yeah. Okay, A for 3 beats, B for 1 beat. Okay. Okay, so everything should be in proper order. If we look at pulses, it should be 1 half, 0 halves, 1 half. Okay. 0 once is okay. All right. I don't know how much detail to go in on this. This one came up with the right answer, so I'm going to return and continue. All right, now this one. Right, so pulses should be the same. Okay, beats so far. Well, let's take a look at 0, 1. Okay, let's recall target. Okay, let's print the measure. This should be our CD3. Okay, note C 1, 1, 1, 3, 1. I think maybe I need to be more. Can I copy this? No. Let's continue. Let's see if we can do L. I'm not sure if we handle this thing or not. Generate report. Okay. Continue. Continue. Print the measure. I don't think we do. Okay, so what I think is going on, it's kind of a mess. So what happens is when you do the events, when you first parse it, we get the relative rhythms. So this one is a 1 and this one's a 3, but the denominator is wrong because we'd like it to be quarter notes. And what normally happens is if you put the L in, you're supposed to multiply the quarter notes times the current denominator. So this should be 3 times the quarter, 3/4. And this one 1/4. That is not happening. So what I'm seeing is you get 4 beats, like 4 whole notes per measure. Okay. So let's try this as 2/1 instead of 1/2, 1/2. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this around, and I frankly will say I don't know what's going on with the halves, how it's going to do things. Okay. Okay, so this is CD3, and let's go from here. Well, let's continue and see what it does. 2. I think it's doing AC. Okay, let's try quantize 4/1. No. And 1/1. Okay, I'm not sure here. I'm not quite sure where we left our L's. Tune header, if we don't handle it in the tune header or the body, it's not doing anything. And that seems wrong to me. All right, so what did I learn? I need to, okay, we've done this. I think if we're not handling the L's, we need to be. And it looks like we're not. Also, we need a measure.debug description. Okay, so, well, print measure is pretty brutal. Okay, let's stop our run. It looked like the tune was being read correctly, so that's a good thing. Let's get measure. Okay, and then yep. Okay, let's see how this looks. Maybe just stop here somewhere and take a look at it. That could be better, couldn't it? That almost looks like symbol doesn't have a debug description. All right, let's go look at that thing. We'll steal this for use over here. Okay. Switch self case dot note. Okay, for a note, I like the note stuff we already have. So let's just return note.description, which is the stuff inside. And then in this case, I think return rest rhythm. Okay. Okay, so either the note or the word rest, hopefully followed by brackets and that. Okay, and I'll go back here again, and we'll just run tests. That's better. 4-4 with A, B, C, D, E. Okay. And I don't know how this will be. I think I need to find a test that has a rest in it. I don't know if that'll, no, I gotta do it explicitly. Okay, measure A, B, rest B. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, investigate L instruction. Okay, let's check that in first. Add debug description to measure and symbol. And I like doing these, even like in TDD, you get your failing tests and it shows you something. Usually you can, if you have debug description defined, those failure messages will be better. So I tend to put them in at that point. I don't know why I didn't for these two, but that's okay. All right, now let's go back to, oh, well, we can just continue this. Okay, so I want to look at the parser, the note line parser. No. Unit node length parser. Let's see who references this. Okay, it's assigned there. It's parsed in the header, rhythm, tune state, note length. Okay, so we are setting it in the tune state. I don't know what tune state's type is. The key and the note length. Okay. And then in the body, we add note length changes. Okay, so the unit note length changes, those are events. All right, so we got an initial state and an event. It makes me wonder if we're really using the initial state. Current state, note length equals rhythm. Like, who uses this? Duration parser. Okay. Note parser. State.current key equals key. State.note length. I don't know who's. Okay, what's puzzling me is, does tunes sorry, let's see where tunes get set. Tunes builder. Notice he has no initializer, so I don't think tune state's getting down to the builder. Let's find tune builder. Right. There's nothing here like that. I don't think we're using key. I think that's a little misleading. Okay. And then let's see. Does it handle the unit note length change? Yes, it does. All right, but where does it just initialize that? Unit note length equals 1. Okay, that's what's going on. I think this should not be 1. The standard should define how that gets interpreted. Note length. Okay. Commonly used values, blah, blah, blah. If there's no L defined, it's set by default based on the meter field. Okay, we don't have a meter field yet. Default is a 16th or it's an 8th note. For none, the default length is an 8th note. Okay. If I change this, does anybody break? Yes, that's good, I guess. Notes of tune reflect its parts. Everything 1/8 is not equal to this. So does note defaults to 1/1? That seems funny too. It does. Okay. I'm going to say set default note length to 1/8, because I think that's what the standard is implying, at least kind of by default. If there's no meter, M none is our default. Note length should be 1/8. Okay, so I think, well, this failure, it should match the note length, so that should be 1/8. Okay, so I'm going to say if I default note, what happens? And this may be a bad path, so we're experimenting at this point. Okay, I'm accept that things will fail somewhat. A lot of failures. F1/8, C1/8 is not equal to 64th notes. Yeah, that's... Again, the problem is your default rhythm for a note should be 1. Well, yeah, when you're creating it, it should be 1 because it's relative. This failure is, well, when we're parsing the tune, that's more of a high level thing. And the end result should be the final notes of the tune. And so these really should be rhythm. Rhythm 1/8. Okay, assuming the default is that. Okay, so how many we got left? Just a couple failing paths. More than a couple. Okay, 6 or 7. Tune knows its measures. Okay. Tune builder events, and then by the time you get to tune, dot make. So these things should be 8th notes. Symbols A B C D. I think, rhythm 1/4. I think these should be 8ths. I don't know how many other things will break because of that. Knows its measures should pass though. Okay. Knows measures. Oh, okay. That doesn't pass. Time signature 4-4. Events ABCD. I got the 64ths again. Okay, let me back out. Okay. So I think, well, we're seeing multiple factors play together, and I'm not sure we're at the bottom of the problems. So in Tune Builder, this unit note length is sort of the fallback length, and I think the documentation is telling us it should be 1/8. And so I think that is probably the change we should be making. And I'm doing this backwards because I'm letting the test tell me who cares. But I think I'm okay with that. Now, some of these are easy, right? We did this one. I think that was 1/8 versus ones. Yeah. And the reason I say this is parse tune gives us a tune. Okay. A tune should be defaulting to 1/8 notes. Okay, so this should pass under that circumstance. Okay, now who else? Tune knows its measures. Okay, again, the tune is quarter notes. We haven't specified any note lengths, so this should really be, well, one problem is it's not long enough, but it's a partial measure. That's okay. We do allow that. Events. Let's make sure events. Okay, events defaulting to 1/4. Now this change is one that breaks a bunch of places, so I'm a little hesitant. Okay, so back to this. All right, let's make sure what the right answer should be. Okay, I got 4 events. They should default to 1/8 notes. So they should go in as ones because that's the relative duration. They all have the same length. Okay, it should come out as 1/8 notes. Okay, 130 seconds. Well, they're already small now. Events. Well, what should the events be doing? I guess that's a question. Events, should they be 1/4? I don't think they should. I think I think these two things have antagonistic reasons for being. Okay, let's do rhythm of type rhythm equals rhythm 1/4. Okay, so now anybody who calls it the way it is gets 1/4, but this one we're gonna note names. These should be ones, I believe. And these, okay, yeah, let's see where that takes us. Was that you? Yes. Okay. $30 still. Okay, events. Let's print the events. Those should be ones. Events are 1/4. They're 1 once. Okay. Where does the 1/4 come from? Oh, would help if I used the thing I passed in. Okay, so rhythm. Let's run that again. Events. 1 once. Okay, yes, that's correct. They're relative notes. They should just be ones going in. Okay, and then the symbols should, I think that should default to rhythm 1/8. Okay, let's try it that way. That should help this test, but I don't know what's going to do for the others. Okay. Events should be 1 ones. Okay. Symbols should be 1/8. And tune.measure sub 0 in the A part. Debug description should also be 1/8. All right, let's continue. Okay, now I may be, okay, tune knows its measures. What's going on here? 130 seconds. All right, this is using symbols and events again. Okay, I think that should fix this one too. Okay, I think it should fix both of these. Whether we break somebody else too, I don't know. Okay, ooh, rests. Interesting. What went wrong? Rests 132, 132, 132. Okay. All right, so rhythm 4/4. We're, oh, maybe these should be 1/8. Events, rhythm 1/4. Oh, yeah, these events, these rests should be 1 ones because they are going in as quarter notes on this. Okay, yeah, they're events, so they should be at this relative duration. Node events, ABCD, all ones. Rest events, rest, all ones. Events. Okay, let's stop here. Run this. And we should see our events all being relatives with one in them. Yeah. The printing could be interesting, but that's event. Let's take a look at event and his debug description. Yeah, I'm going to put the word rest in here. I think it's just a little confusing without it. Okay. Which test was this again? Parts parser? Measure can accumulate rests. Okay, let's run this again. All right, I like the word rest in there. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Let's step over. Now these, I think maybe should be 8th notes, because these are 8th notes. I think my measure description probably could look better. Oh, I guess it's my symbol. Let's bracket this. Okay. Let me run that same test. Okay. And we said these should be 1/8 to match up the other ones. Okay, I think we're consistent now. Right. Okay, now, did we break anybody else? Maybe 47 of them? No, just 4. Okay. Event tests. All right. Multiplied by rhythm. Okay, so event rest. What did it get? 6/32 is not equal to. Oh, we changed the description, but I think I'm better off asserting on the rhythm. Actual should be rhythm 6, 32. I think that, whoops. Actual, is it a note? It's an event. actual dot maybe I should have gone with the rhythm anyway. Let's see the original. Actual, well, he's a rest. Let's do that. Okay. Are these all quantized? Okay, so if the 3 quantizes the remaining errors. And I saw something print by. Let's look for print. I saw something else in there. It may be a failure message from these quantized tests, which will be fine. There it is. Okay, that's a quantized test error. Measure 1/4 ACEE is not equal to ABCD. Okay. Okay. I suspect the issue is the default length that I assumed it was 1/4 and it's 1/2. So let's look at the test with that kind of eye. Okay. So rhythm 4/4 quarter note names. Let's see what we're doing with the quarter note names. Check quantization. Quarter note names is symbols. Okay. Right. They're no longer quarter note names. Let's. I think maybe these. Let's rename this to 8th note names. Because that's what they are. Okay. Now. Let's take a look at. Quantize with extra beats. Okay, let's read these. All right. So if I have A, B, C, D half notes quantized to a whole note, well, I don't have enough notes. Let's make them act like quarter notes. Okay. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, now it's a half thing. It should be AC, and this should pass. Okay. Now, this one, all right, same kind of thing. B, C, D, E. And this one, A, B, C. Oh, that should be eighth with an H. You're going to break on me, aren't you? Let's do it up here. Okay, now all tests should pass. Okay. Well, where does that leave me for this? I had AACD. Okay, so what we've done, set default node length to 1.8. Yeah. And deal with modified tests. Okay, because we had to take that into account properly. All right, and that I can commit. Okay. I think I'm getting more clarity about events versus symbols, and that's helping too. All right, let's. Well, this whole thing around L, I think that's down here. Okay, let's run one more time before the day closes here. All right, so tune X1, title test. We'll take the default notes, key of C, and we did A. Well, now they're eighths. Okay, so A2, we had A6, C2, they're eighth notes, and oh no, it was B2. A for 6, B for 2, then C for 2, D for 6. Okay, and that's all in eighths. And if I quantize that to 1, 2, I'm expecting AACD. Okay. Yeah, there we go. First note is A. Second note is the same. It's A. Third note is C going down. Fourth note is D going up. All right. I feel better. Yeah, it's really this L not even handling in the tune header yet. I don't think there's anything to investigate. It's not being handled. So it we've gotten closer to the proper default. We can't say M, so it should default to free, and we can't say L, or we don't do anything with L, so it doesn't matter what it defaulted to, or it matters what it defaults to, not what it changes to. All right, well, that gives us a place to start next time. I guess a little bit of this will constrain the lower number greater than or equal to 1, but I think that will wrap up this. Actually, you know, I'm going to do that right now. We'll go 5 minutes extra just to make sure this is, make sure this is done. Okay. I guess when they do this, if denominator less than or equal to 0, denominator equals 1. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so we can do the same tune x1 t test kc a6 b2, and it's enough, one measure. Okay, if I quantize by 1, can I type -1? Ooh, again. Okay. Generate the report. All right. Yeah, quantizing one whole measure, so I get the first node. All right. Let's constrain both of them. Okay, run that. I really have to learn to paste that tune somewhere. X1 t test key C A6B2, and if I quantize by, I don't know, can I type X? Okay, 0 -3 -2 -3. Okay, it forces it. That's the good news. Why the one got changed and the other didn't, I don't know. -3 -2. Generate the report. Changes it to 1 1. Okay. I think I hit a little glitch there. Numerator is greater than or equal to 1, and denominator is greater than or equal to 1. Okay. Good. All right. So, force numerator and denominator greater than or equal to 1. Okay, and I think we will take that, add constraint to make lower number. To make numerator and denominator greater than or equal to 1. Okay, and this was all part of quantized parsons code. All right, so I think I can show that to my one customer. All right, I guess I could be a user of this too, but I have somebody else who's doing it, so I'll take advantage of her insight. Okay, so today, that was a nice bit of stuff. We got the quantization. We verified that it was working for longer notes and dotted notes and all that. We made sure it worked with rests. We made sure it worked with too large and partial measures. We did a little refactoring, made measure a struct, and it was an enum. All right. We added the quantization to the UI. We gave it a flag, put some debug descriptions in, set the default note length, and added these constraints. Okay, so I think we've got this quantized feature, at least version 1, done, and we'll see how that goes from there. I think next week we will pick up with I think more of these header, more input format stuff. So I think I can let my customer play with what they have there, and then work on these other things that maybe don't affect the some of them will affect the quantization, so it'll have some impact. But for the tunes we have, I'm not sure it matters there. All right, and with that, we'll pick up next time. Is next week Monday. Things make it a little crazy as we get into the holiday season, so don't be surprised if I end up missing a few here and there. But I do plan to be here Monday, 1 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Standard Time, or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope I catch you again sometime. Take care. Bye-bye.